markets are starting to...
We are back again for another Twigtown video review, and today we're looking at the Popcorn Hour C-200. As you can see from the box here, it's a networked media tank, HD media player. Let's open up this humongous box and have a look inside. Okay, you get a look at the top of the package here. We've just opened the top of the box, and you can see, as far as the shipping goes, lots of foam here, and it looks like it'd be rather safe during shipping. So let's pull this unit out now and get a look inside. So we've taken everything out of the box now, and what we're going to have a look at first is inside this box here. This will be the accessories bag. It's different, you know, kind of looks like they're going along with the whole popcorn theme. You know, maybe there's popcorn inside, I don't know. So let's open it up and have a look. Where will we start? We've got here a HDMI 1.3A cable. And what else have we got here? This is the power cable, remote control. Let's take the plastic off so you can get a better look at that. So here's a look at the Popcorn Hour C-200 remote control. Plenty of different buttons here. So coming close, you can get a nice look at all the different options there you have on the remote control. Nice Popcorn Hour logo down the bottom. Plenty of options there for you to play with. On the back, not too much. Of course, some batteries are thrown into the remote control. What you've got here are some screws, because you can install your own Blu-ray drive inside the unit as well, so I'd assume those are for that. And what you've got here is a little wireless antenna for the 8211N. If you decide to purchase the C-200, that does come with the 8211N wireless module. Now on the paperwork side, we've got one here, last minute notes, that gives you some details about FLAC audio and some of the other things there. And here you've got your C-200 quick start guide, some basic information in here, or that's your warranty card there if you can see it. What was also included is this setting up your C-200. It's just a single page that has basic details on how you'll go about hooking this up to your TV in your lounge room or in your home theater. Now, the one you've been waiting for, the Popcorn Hour C-200. It comes in this protective cover here, so let's pull it out and get you a proper look at this unit. It's huge. It's easily the biggest media player that we've checked at. The Popcorn C-200. It's huge, it's massive. Here's a look at the front. See, normally what these media players I can hold in one hand, but this one, no, it's massive. So, looking at the front now, there'll be your power button here. A couple USB 2.0 ports here. Take off this protective cover. You've got a really nice LCD panel here. I would assume it's going to spit out some information. Some buttons here, more buttons here. This is where your optical drive will go, and you can see it just opens up like so. There's no drive in there. Coming around this side, some air vent holes. Now coming around to the back, plenty of stuff going on here. Okay, starting from the left, we've got the wireless dongle. So what you do is you'll install your wireless antenna on here. This is 8211N. Not every C-200 comes with this. You'll have to decide if you want to purchase the model that does come with that. Some air vent holes here with an area for a fan there. It looks like if you want to install one. This is a HDMI 1.3A connector here. You've got digital coaxial and digital optical sound. This is for your 5.1 audio. Two more USB 2.0 ports here. Here you've got your gigabit Ethernet. This is gigabit, it's not 100 megabit, so that's great. You can have very fast transfers. S-video, and you've got component video, and you've got your standard analog video and audio out. And here, this is your power, where the power cable goes, and you've got an on-off switch here, so the PSU is built into the unit. On the base of the unit, 4 feet here that keep it nice and stable on your desk or wherever you're putting it. Now on this side, some more air vent holes. So let's open up the Popcorn Hour C-200 now. By the looks of it, it's just one screw. So let's undo this one here. And then by the looks of things, it's just going to slide off. So we slide it back, yep, and then the top of the C-200 just comes off and it exposes the whole system. So let's get a closer look now. And there we go. That's a look inside the Popcorn Hour C-200. First impressions, it's very clean. There's not a whole lot going on. So we'll start over here. Now this here is your power supply unit. Now this connects to the circuit board here, the motherboard. It's different from a normal motherboard that we'd expect to see. It's more of a basic circuit board. Under here you would have the CPU, you've got some memory chips here, and some other various chips going on here. You can see there are two SATA connectors here. So basically this is a mix of consumer technology and PC technology fused together to create the Popcorn Hour C-200. In this area here is where you have the option to hook up a hard drive or your own SATA Blu-ray ROM, Blu-ray disk drive. So you can hook that in there. And by the looks of things, you have the option to install two drives. So you've got the spare one here, and you've got this module already hooked up here for another drive. So when we get a closer look at this motherboard, you've got the memory chips here for the system. I believe there's a total of 512 meg of DDR2 to power the system. You've got another USB 2 port here, which that may be for updating the firmware. It might not be something you can actually use. What's interesting, you've got two 3-pin fan headers here. So one is labeled for the CPU, so if you felt the need, you can hook up a cooling fan onto the CPU and instead of just the passive heatsink here. And there's a back fan here. So like as we mentioned, and you look here, if you feel the need, you can hook up a fan here to extract air from the system. So there is a little bit of customization in here, but not a whole lot. As we've mentioned, the Popcorn Hour C-200, you're able to install your own Blu-ray optical drive in there. So what we've done here is we've modded it. We've put it all to bits. This was the front part you saw at the front of the case where you're able to install your hard drive. Alright, so using the provided screws that we've got here, we've mounted a light-on optical drive inside the caddy here, the 5 1/4 caddy. It comes with the C-200. Now if you can see, we'll move it over just a little bit. First of all, of course, we'll hook up the SATA power and data cable. So just plug that in firmly and gently, just like so. That's in there. And then all we have to do is sit the device in here, like so. Just moving some of the cables out here, out of the way. And if we mount it up properly, there's going to be two screws here that we need to do in, and just off camera here you can't see, there's two more screws. Now the drive's installed, we'll hold it in place, and there you go. That's your Blu-ray drive installed inside the Popcorn Hour C-200. Now they've made some bold claims about this device. They're saying it's one of the broadest file supported units on the market in terms of music and video playback. There's a whole bunch of different formats and things supported. I can't go through them all. So I recommend that you go to the specifications page, look just below the video now, and you'll see the link. One of the super interesting features that we see, and now this is clearly what you've seen here, it's an advanced HD media player, far more advanced than the Realtek base players that we've been looking at. Now one of the claims and the specifications on the website, under the audio pass-through section, they have DTS, DTS HD, high resolution, DTS HDMA, and Dolby True HD. Those there are the high definition audio formats for Blu-ray movies. So if the C-200 from Popcorn Hour is able to actually play back those formats and pass through them as a bit stream to our amplifier, we're going to be really impressed. So let's turn on the unit here and we'll give you a listen to the noise output that the C-200 produces. We've just turned it on, you can see the Blu-ray drive spinning. Now if you listen really carefully, there is no sound because there are new moving parts inside the C-200. The only thing that moves is the motor inside the Lighton Blu-ray disc drive that we've got here. So it's silent, and from the testing we've done, it doesn't produce hardly any heat. This little chip here, under here, there is a Sigma CPU. That doesn't produce any heat. If it does, it's just such a tiny little bit. Before we do get into taking a look at the C-200 and its software, we wanted to show you this lovely remote. You can see it here, but when I push a button, you see it lights up. Now this is a feature of the Onkyo amplifier, normally high-end parts, so in the dark, you're able to see the buttons. It's the small things that make a difference. So what we can do here is we can go left to right on the remote control. USB, it's got a mark there against it because we don't actually have one installed. Yeah, smart, simple but smart. This is for the CD, DVD and Blu-ray. You can go into the settings here. Now coming back to the front LCD display that we've got here, we were going through the menu options before. There aren't actually any logos, but what we've got on the front of the C-200, when we switch through, I'm pushing on the remote control now, you get all of the options listed and where you're at on the LCD panel. This happens throughout the whole device. So if you're going through movies, you're going through music, you're listening to internet radio stations and so on, it'll show everything on here. So this is a really nice feature. First of all, we're going to give you a look at the settings menu. Short time to load there. Now under preferences, we've got the language. There's a whole bunch here you can choose from. We won't go through them all, but pretty much your language is going to be covered. Subtitle language, same deal again, plenty to choose from. Play mode, repeat, off. Slideshow style, this is the effect between changing images. So you've got some there to choose from. Photo interval, the time between changing photos. Now we've got the screensaver, which is set to 5 minutes. All different options there for when this screensaver comes on. Now we come over to the audio and video section. Whole bunch of settings here. You can manually choose your resolution, but we'll set it to auto, so the HDMI cable will choose that for us. The frame rate sync, a few options there for you. Video zoom, we'll set it to fit to screen. TV type, you can choose widescreen as we've got it, either 16:9 or 16:10. Or 4:3 if you have an older TV. The color space, 2 options there to choose from. HDMI audio, we have that on of course, but you'll notice here we have AAC, WMA Pro, DTS and Dolby Digital all set to RAW, so that actually means pass through or bitstream straight to the amplifier that we're using, in this case an Onkyo. You've also got the Dolby DRC option there as well if you'd like to turn that on. As for the networking option, it does come with gigabit networking, Ethernet. So we'll set it to wired auto IP. You've got Ethernet configuration, you can set your time zone, it's even got a time server there as well. You can go in here and configure IP. It is set to auto by default, so you can see that's picked up an IP there ending 193. Network share, here you can browse your network and add a different share, or you can even add an online share as well. DVD and audio, so you've got parental control, autoplay, you've got the audio and the subtitle language there. Now finally, we come down to the maintenance setting and you can see the firmware version, we've updated to the latest. So we go up the top and it will take us back to the home menu. Right now we're going to show you the web services, so we just push the OK button. First of all, we'll go to the internet radio. This device, the C-200 from Popcorn Hour, is loaded with all different web services. It's the most advanced we've seen so far. So first of all, let's go to internet radio. Just a little bit of time loading. So here you can choose by genre, country or language. Let's go to country. Now being from Australia, of course, that's the one I'll select. What's interesting here is you can choose the bitrate, the audio quality of an internet radio station. So below 96 kilobits or 196 to 160 kilobits. So let's choose that one. There's a whole lot that's been programmed into the Popcorn Hour C-200. One of our favorites is Triple J. It's a popular radio station. That's in 128 kilobits. So let's give that one a try. Just pushed enter on the remote control to load that up. You can see it's just buffering now. And it's loaded right here. Just a bit of extra buffering there. And there you go, that's internet radio. What's interesting is that this logo here does move up and down, so it acts kind of a little bit like a screensaver even if you just want to leave this menu open. Nice menu system up the top indicates that it's MP3, as you can see. So hit stop on that now, and that takes us back. Now for the navigation on the C-200, it's quite good. You just keep hitting return, and it's like a back button. It will keep taking you back to where you were. Or if you hit the source button, that will take you back to the main menu. So we'll keep going back here. Now we're back to the web services section. Now this is the media service portal. So let's have a look at this. We're not going to be able to show you every single feature because really this thing is packed with all different web services. So these are, it's music, it's photos, it's TV that streams to your C-200 over the Ethernet, over your network connection here. So let's have a quick look at some of these things. Shoutcast, Flickr, Mediafly, Pike, CNET TV, Weatherbug, Blip. Look, let me just go through them. I'll see. Look, there's huge. There's 44 of these different, I guess, web services, web applications that are built into the C-200. It's just fantastic. Look, there's all different types of features here. You know, you've got some CNN specials here. We keep going through just quickly so you can get a look at everything. There's something here that that's going to suit most people. You even have RSS sort of types of applications that have been specially created for the Popcorn Hour C-200. Even more. So you can see the count down here, 42 or 44. You're coming to the end there. So look at that, there's a bunch of different things in it, and this is fantastic. We've got the MSP community now, so let's have a quick look at that. 27 different items here of things. That was under video podcast. You've got games, internet radio, photos, others. So we come up here, we can see some of the things. What about we go to what's new and have a look. This is the Media Service Portal community. So you've got a whole bunch of different, again, applications and things you can use. So, for example, ABC TV in Australia, they've got some shows that you can watch they're not live, but they've been recorded. You can watch them. You can come down here. Chases War and Everything, fantastic TV show, and they've got their, I think that's their last episode for 2009, so you can watch that. So there's plenty of stuff. This is by far the most advanced media player we've had. It doesn't just play your media, it does the streaming and everything as well. That's the point of showing you all of this, just so you see how much stuff is actually going in here. Now, as far as I know, Popcorn Hour are pretty active with the updating of all of this. There is no YouTube. Now, that's not the fault of Popcorn. It's actually, in my opinion, if you ask me, a silly mistake by YouTube. They have changed their policies, and companies like Popcorn who make these media players and media streamers and the like, they're now not allowed to have YouTube videos streaming. Now, what we do have coming up on that, kind of a replacement. This is a peer-to-peer TV, Say TV. This is kind of like YouTube, but of course it's not as popular as YouTube. So what you get here, most viewed, similar sort of concept to YouTube. So that's been a look at the web services. So if we hit the source button on the remote control, it takes us back to the main menu, and you can see we come across here. We don't have a USB device hooked in, but what we'll do is we'll hook one in now so you can get a look. Off camera, we just hooked in our Team Group 64 gig USB 2 pen drive, and we'll just wait for it to initialize. On the top right of the screen here, you can see, so now we can detect that. and it will show us the contents of what's on the pen drive. We've got hooked into one of the 2 USB ports on the front of the device, and you can see all of our content here. So let's have a look at JZ. This is just standard MP3. Empire State of Mind. Very beautiful menu system. It works really well. It's nice and quick.
I'm out at Brooklyn.
So that was MP3 quality. What I do like about the menu system is it just looks really good and it works really well. It's easy to know where you're at because there's a USB logo over here, and when whatever file format you're playing, it shows you. It just looks good and it works well. So let's go back. Now we've got some FLAC audio here, 48 kilohertz, 24-bit, 5.1. Now we did try this out earlier, and we confirmed that the audio is passing through directly to the amplifier, and it is outputting directly, so it works really well. Example again, here you can see it's FLAC, and you can see the file name. This is a FLAC quality example here. Very nice, no problems at all, works really well. So we'll stop that. Now we'll go back. So that was a look at the MP3 and FLAC audio quality. We've got some of our demo files here that we normally use. So just quickly, Neighbours, this is an Australian TV show, very popular on standard definition TV. Let's load that. What you notice is bang, it just loads really quick. This is off a USB pen drive. So standard definition quality here, fine. Stop that. Now what we've also got here, yes we are going through quick, but there's lots to show you. CSI Miami, this is 720p, so let's load that. MKV file, that's the file container. Again, it loads really quick, and this is 720p quality, and look, it's nice, it works, and it's smooth, and it loads quick. And it does pass through as Dolby Digital 2.0, which is what was recorded for this particular episode. Stop that. Now we have Rounders 1080p. Again, this is an MKV file. Before that was X24 Kodak. I'm not quite sure what this one is, so let's load this one. This is 1080p, a Rounder sample of the best poker movie in the world.
Just connected all the way to the top of the Russian mob.
Let's turn that up a bit. You can use the volume here, you can see.
But if you're looking for high stakes, this is the only place in town. They don't know me as a small time.
Down again.
But that's about to change.
So that was 1080p quality. Fine, it looks really good. Now that we've got a Blu-ray drive installed into the Popcorn Hour C-200, do we actually finally have a HD media player, a networked media player here as Popcorn Hour call it? Can it actually bitstream HD audio? We're talking about DTS HD, MA and True HD. Do we actually have one here that can do it? We've got it hooked up to our on-cue amplifier. Let's load it up now and just give you a look. If it can do it, this is easily going to be the best HD media player we've ever tested and probably the best on the market. Now, it's time for the truth. Can it do it? Can the Popcorn Hour C200 do bit streaming on the audio? So what we've got here, we've got the Lost Boys Blu-ray. So let's put that in. Of course, we haven't really got the drive set up properly. Normally it would be sat in the front there. And you can see here, it's just going to take a little bit of time. But we've got autoplay on. You can see on the screen here. Just accessing the light on Blu-ray drive that we've got here. And you'll see on the LCD on the front menu panel here, it will play shortly. Okay, you can see you've got the film icon there. Just to show you that it's happening. It's buffering right now. It's going to go through all the usual stuff, give you some warnings and things like that. Now, as you can see here, shows us that we're playing a Blu-ray video. One slightly bad thing is it doesn't show the title, but it's not such a huge issue. It does show you, the time, the section you're up to. Just the Warner Brothers logo here. Still loading. The system there. Yes, I am excited because this could be the first time that we've seen a consumer product that's mixed with PC technology here that could actually play back Blu-ray audio. So let's have a look here. We're on our amplifier here. So at the moment it's in Dolby Digital, but if I get the remote control, and give us a second here, and so we're on the remote control here, and we hit the audio button. So we change from audio 1 to audio 2. It's just paused there. Now we'll go back, and there we go, True HD. So finally, folks, we have a media player that can do Blu-ray properly. It is able to bitstream, Dolby True HD, and DTS HDMA. So here we go, folks. Our final thoughts on the Popcorn Hour C-200. By far the best HD media player that we have tested so far. We've tested a whole bunch of them from Western Digital and a whole series of them based on the Realtek controller. This one, the C-200 from Popcorn Hour, puts them to shame. Now, of course, with any product, there is always some negative points. If you can't find them, you're just not looking hard enough. While this device is really good, we did notice a couple of things. Now, the one is, at times, it is a little bit slow. The time for the system to power on does take a bit of time, and when you're switching between some menus, it could be a little bit quicker. And now the other one, sometimes, we tried playing back a huge, I think it was like 30 gig ISO file from a Blu-ray image that we backed up, and it just sit there buffering and buffering and buffering. And then sometimes it kind of gets caught up a little bit, and you try and stop it, and the system, in effect, crashes or locks up, and you have to go to the back of the unit and turn it off to get it back. All of the media players we've tested, including this one, they do play a very broad range of different formats, but this one, where it excels, is in its design. The menu system is completely different. It's a unique product. It doesn't use the Realtek controller, which is such a big joy to me. It has a huge amount of different web services that you can stream content straight onto the C-200. That's because Popcorn Hour has relationships and deals with the content providers, and they have a community here where people can create applications for this device. As far as the heat and the sound goes, they basically don't exist. That's not an issue. The system, besides the Blu-ray drive, if you decide to put one in, it's completely silent. There are no moving parts. Heat is a non-issue. The device just doesn't get hot. There's plenty of room inside the device. Sure, it is quite big. You can see it there. It's much larger than the usual media player that you get, but it's also more advanced. As for the price, the fully optioned version comes in at $361 US. However, you can get the minimalist version for $299 US. That doesn't come with the remote control and IR receiver, and it doesn't come with 802.11n. So we would recommend that you go for the midway option, and that costs you around $330 US, and that comes with the IR receiver. But by far, the biggest advantage of this device, you spend that $330 US, and so you spend another $100 to $150 US, and you add in a Blu-ray ROM drive here, and you've got a media player that can finally fully play back Blu-ray movies the way they're supposed to be. And what I'm talking about, of course, is bit streaming. It's been a big, massive challenge thanks to the Hollywood studios and all those people over there involved. They've made it terribly hard for enthusiasts, for PC companies, for guys like this to actually get bit streaming working. Because of all the content protection, it's made it really hard. It took folks like Asus a long time, and they're still even perfecting their Zona HD 1.3 audio card. Then we have the small little media players, NVIDIA Ion systems from the folks like AceRock. Very good, but unfortunately it can't bitstream audio, and that's what a lot of people are looking at. Bitstreaming is going to give you the full quality audio. There's no type of compression. It's just the full bit rate as intended by the studio for the person watching at home. This has been Cameron for Twigtown, looking at the Popcorn Hour C-200 media player. It is by far, and with no doubt, the best media player we have tested,